Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake. And I guess we'll have it be that when it's this talk, it's me. When it's accenty stuff, you know, it's something else going on. So, but I want to take my glasses off because they're dirty and I don't like them right now. I'm not into them, man. I really want to talk about this very interesting phenomenon that was first brought to my attention through a channeled piece. I believe it was called Turn the Light Towards Self. But that was an amplification of a meditation I had earlier on in 2012. When it came to my attention that in order to align the seven chakra system, there's a twist that has to happen, and I've talked about it since, and they've talked about it too. I knew that there was some sort of a twist that had to happen, or spiral or something, energetically, to complete a process. And then it was explained in Turn the Light Towards Self that what this is a spiraling, and they showed me what it was like to have the energy swirling through and out, and you know, of a person, and to have that energy twist toward yourself. I talked about, you know, as light workers, how tender-hearted we are, how loving we are, how little we want other people to suffer, how willing we are to take on their suffering so that they don't have to experience it. So that's a lot of love. And you know, are you one of the people who people say, would you pray for me? They don't do that with me anymore, because sure, the face says sure. And I mean, if someone says, hey you guys, I need light sent to me 10 o'clock on Saturday, it's done. Boop. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to set my alarm. Consider it done. So I feel like that. It's like, okay, sure. So I don't really do that. But holy God, do I love people. Holy God. And the question was, when I was doing that channeling, Turn the Light Towards Self, when was the last time that love, that pure white light, that you or I are so willing to pour? Because I may not pray, but I send light, honey. I send light, and I send color, and I send sound. I set the geometrics. I see geometrics and grids and stuff. So I do my own thing, all right? But I do it with such love. In that space, completely unconditional. Soul to soul. God to God. Not in the little God sense, just creator to creator. So, it was brought up to my attention, when was the last time that I'd put that kind of love, that kind of innocent beholding of my own self in respect and awe, you know, and love, the way that I can stream it to another. So that's an interesting thing. I understood that it was an emotional thing, that, you know, the twist came from the what's it called, above the sacrum, what's that called, the yellow one, whatever that yellow one is. I thought it was from yellow to green, but it was told to me that this twist, this completion, happens heart to throat. That it's a, and I can understand that, because it's, if you think of the 7 chakra system, this is God, she's turned into such a little attention monster. If you think of the 7 chakra system, the heart is the axis point, and then throat and pineal, and that's the upper realms, or the transpersonal or whatever, and the lower realms are the physical, right? And there's what is explained to me is that it's on a wheel. So like the root chakra and the crown chakra are they're mirrors of each other. The throat, the sacrum, mirrors of each other. Pretty, huh? So it makes sense that we'll go from heart to throat, because it's taking the love that is innate and actualizing it, taking a look at it. And because what is coming to me again and again is, all right, once you figure out that you might be somewhat attractive, which still is a shock every time someone looks at me and says, "You're pretty." So, excuse me. And all last night, I just got so much love. And so much, every mirror I looked into was smiling, baby. It was smiling and saying nice things, murmuring compliments. And sure, I have to give myself a lot of love and a lot of room for sweetness, because, for a long time, decades, I was a really big girl, and I was invisible, or kind of ugly to some. So I didn't get a lot of praise. I didn't get any, except when I don't know, when the stars lined up and something extraordinary happened. Then I got a little bit of good stuff. But usually I didn't get a lot of juice. So it is nice to get more juice. And it's nice to believe what I'm hearing is genuine and true. But man, oh man, oh man, did I experience a twist last night. It was, I think, this twist, this turning towards self, and then a completion. Because if this is on a spiral, then sure, it's nice to turn something toward yourself. Then what happens? You keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. So here's the idea. Phenomenal. I got home and I went to a beautiful, fantastic party. I got the ticket from just a dear soul, such a sweet person. It was a barter, and I'm so happy I got to go. It was just awesome. I got to see such favorite people. Oh my God, I love them so much. They don't even know how much I love them. They have no idea. But I was so happy. And the music's thumping, dun 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 dun. And of course, I'm unescorted. And that wears on me. After a couple of hours, my heart is full, and I'm sad, and I want to just go home. So all the way home, I was crying. And blubbering. I just want to share my life. Well, I'll tell you what. That morning, I had made a declaration. I like to make declarations. I like getting to the place energetically where I can make a declaration. And I did. I said, I'm done with this. I need a paragraph. I don't want the next sentence about what's going to happen in my life. I want the next paragraph, and I want it today. And then through the day, I hadn't received my paragraph, and I said, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not very pleased with that, because I made a declaration. I expect to have what I want. Well, I got it. It took a long time. It took till the end of the night, because I got home and I realized a couple things. I was sad. I was just really upset. Socialization just really, it it breaks me apart. I don't like the result. So I was thinking to myself, do I cry when I go home from choir practice? No, not usually. From work? Yeah, sometimes. You bet. From a lot of places. Yeah. Because it hurts. What is it? Well, my thoughts. I'm uncomfortable, and I didn't understand something. I didn't understand something really, really basic. Guess what? It was a 2-for-1 yesterday. First of all, there was something energetic that I never understood. And it was like when I would look at it, I'd get that jarring feeling. I don't know if you have that feeling, like if you're afraid of heights, and you get up really high and you look down and it feels like, whoa, and your whole body goes doing, 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 like that. That's how it feels. The idea being that I look at like a couple, a man and a woman sitting, maybe with their hands or their arms entwined, just sitting on a bench. And as an objective observer, I label that. And I then project my stuff on that. If there's, metal around their left fourth fingers, what their faces look like, how honest their bodies are toward each other. Lots of stuff. But there's a label right away, usually. And then there's being that man or being that woman. This is what strikes me about parties and photos at Christmas time too. There's an image that we see that's captured. A symbol, perhaps, but an image. But that image is made by somebody who I can remember so many times looking at a photograph and thinking, oh yeah, I was feeling so awkward at that moment. Or, oh yeah, I was thinking about la la la. There's being in the moment, and there's witnessing the moment. And this dissonance was with me all day. It was very, very strong all day. And then I bathed in techno sound and visuals and so much love. Oh my God, so much. My heart just goes, wow. I feel like a lotus that just keeps blooming when I'm in that environment. So happy, so happy. But if I were to have been sitting next to a man and our arms or hands had been entwined, I'd be having my thoughts about that. And I wonder, would I be anxious about what our label was? What the image was? Others were observing? What the image appeared to be to me? Living it and looking at it are very different, I found. So, this twist. I could never figure out, why is it that I always have this cushion? What is it about me that pushes people away? Energetically, or is it my face, or is it the way I hold myself, or is it what I say? Am I really that inept? What the fuck is it? This sense of utter lack of success with others, of ineptitude, of awkwardness, of eliciting discomfort in others somehow. I felt that, all of that. all the time. Aware that there's something about me that intimidates others, but not being able to own it. Why would I want to say that? That goes against everything that I hold dear. My own sense of humility, my knowledge of profound, what feels to me imperfection within. But I'm driving home last night, and today I'm realizing, my whole life, I've had these awkward, weird interactions with other people. And I have been more than willing to own all of it. It's because I'm inept. It's because I'm doing something wrong. And if I could just work on myself, if I could just winnow out the things that are dark, the things that are offensive, if I can just know myself, then it'll be easier and better with other people. I got my paragraph yesterday. It just came really late at night. It's this. All this time, I think it's been easier for me to assume that the lack of social success that I have experienced was due to imperfections in my personality structure or seemingly unfixable behavioral glitches. It's not true. It's not true. It was a very kind thing to have done, but it's not true. I know myself to be wise and kind. Impatient sometimes with nonsense, yes. Outspoken, yes. Impulsive, sometimes. Loving, demonstrative. Oh my, yes. Oh my, yes. And if someone's uncomfortable with that, I've been more than happy to translate that into, it's gotta be me. It's gotta be me. So what I realized last night and this morning too, it's not me. I keep hearing last couple weeks, it gets to the point where what this is about is helping them be comfortable. I didn't realize that they were uncomfortable, and that discomfort was being projected. I didn't understand that. I always assume that other people have everything together and I don't. That they are blessed with love that I don't know and will probably never know. They have resources, or they have the ability to manage their resources a lot better than me. That they probably know their way much better than I do. I automatically put myself at such a disadvantage. I always have. It's as if, I'm not there. The personality part isn't there sometimes. The part that's, I can be proud of, and then tick back and, oh yeah, I'm a channeler, I'm a writer, I'm a single mom, I'm a loving ex-wife, I'm a really good friend, I'm a nurse, thinking about these things that are neat about myself. No, it's never really like that. I'm focused on what's going on, how I can help, how I can help, how I can help, how I can help. In my training, I was a child. I was in my 20s. And it was drilled home, shift after shift after shift after shift, that my body and my intuition, my words and my emotions are my tool. That is my healing modality. But to heal, I leave myself at the door. Self-disclosure is not part of the deal. I am here for them. As a psych nurse, we don't unload on our patients. We use ourselves as a tool to heal their psyche, their sense of self, their sense of integrity. And did I ever stop doing that? No. No. Whether I've been a home care nurse or a hospice nurse or an ICU nurse, what else is there? But if my feet hurt or my bladder's full or my heart is breaking, inconsequential. And I learned 31 years of it. You can show up and give from a well that is inexhaustible and untouched by mundane problems. But where does that leave the personality structure? Where does that leave me when I try to connect with a human being on a social level, where actually bringing your gifts to the table is part of the fun? It's not forbidden, it's encouraged. Tricky. So, I realized last night, perhaps others feel insecure like I do. And then it just floods me. Look at what I've created. Have you read my words? They're too beautiful to be from around here. Have you watched me practice nursing? Just watch. 5 minutes. You'll know who you're standing next to. You'll know. I know these things about myself, and yet I socialize, thinking myself small, ugly, inept, broken. That is the original sin. I've always known it. Thinking those thoughts about oneself. But to be able to socialize or practice or function aware of the magnificence that you carry. Yeah, I'm proud of what I've done. So other people would look at it and go, that's dumb. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of my son and what he's done, and who he is and how he stands in this life. You know, everybody's different. I remember realizing the truth and wailing. When's it going to be my turn? Well, I think today might be that day. I think today is that day. Because, you know, the turn if I realize that I do bring to others things that they like and that are helpful, if I do accept all of that, there's responsibility with that. There's holding myself a little bit differently with that. There's letting people off the hook everywhere I turn. And there's the ability to be generous socially, with my smiles, with my warmth, with my time, with my attention. You see, I had a chance to look at things a little bit from a different angle last night as I was concluding the transmissions, I guess. Realizing that, I really do resonate with the human design information, because I fully acknowledge that I've taken on I've always known mine is to be a role model. And I've always understood that I'm a hermit. Of course I am. I very much resonate with convent life, and have oftentimes in my lifetime yearned for such a life again, knowing it's off limits this time. But doing my best to recreate it, and often complaining that everyone treats me like a shaman. I'm the shaman at the edge of the village, and they only come when they need something. Wah, wah, wah. Well, I liked it that way. I didn't know how else to deal with people, except as a healer. So, my job was to, spend the first 30 or so years of my life getting the shit kicked out of me, basically. Not understanding anything. Diving in to basically realize that what I dove into wasn't what I wanted. Wasn't it. And then a period of pulling back and observing. Just crawling up on the roof and looking. Not to gawk, but to observe, to learn. Then there's the time of reintegration. Yep, being physical with it all. Bring what I've learned and what I've done, what I've observed, what I know to others. And what better way to personify my path on this human design thing of the 6-2, the role model hermit. Okay, human design, that's just bullshit. That's not true. Okay, really? Oh, okay. There's 6s everywhere in all my charts. And there again, 6 and 2. Allah. And, well, it's just, it just is what it is. Sometimes you're not ready for something until you're ready for it. Hinduism was like that for me. I had the Om tattooed on the back of my neck in the 90s, not really even knowing what it meant, but knowing I had to have it on my neck. Knowing I really liked this Hinduism stuff, but I could never access it. I'd read it and my brain would go, whoa. I could never. I've been walking around with the Gita for, I don't know, 30 years? Probably longer. It was only after 2012 when I sat in my first kirtan that I could actually understand it. And then, wow, did the floodgates open. It's kind of like that with human design. You might find it's true with other things, other disciplines like herbology, aromatherapy, numerology, astrology, where before it maybe seemed, ooh, that, because I was always, human design is so linear, and there's so many graphs and charts, and it just seems so desperately sad that we have to linearize this beautiful multidimensionality, when, after all, that's just silly. I mean, okay, fine. It's an opinion. But it's also, because it's so linear and because it's so pictographed, it's very helpful for a number of different augurs and purposes. So that's the idea, to bring it home. And then, if I'm in a social situation, I'm neither at an advantage or disadvantage. I'm just being loving and not needing anything from anybody. Not really, and wanting connection, but not needing it. That's a big thing. That's like major koan cracking. So I thought I'd come to you. I would run to you and tell you of my understandings. I'm gonna channel next. This congestion, sounds weird. It just sounds weird. Alright, well, it was quite a night. I hope that you're having a very good day, that this Halloween weekend is treating you well, that you perhaps reflect a bit at the new moon. It's a powerful one. And with the magnetic storms we've had. Mindfulness, intentionality, and fun with imagination can really help 3131. We have had something very fun that I've done since the beginning, because I was prompted. Giving myself a few moments now and then, not every day, delicious moments, when I'm able to somehow suspend all of the anxiety and the yammer of keeping my stories going. And while in this body, with these attributes and these everything, I imagine having everything I want. I imagine things complete. I imagine struggles over. I imagine how it would feel, what I'm wearing, what I look like, where I am, what color is it, what am I eating, where am I sleeping, who's beside me. Everything's complete. Everything's complete. Satisfaction, satisfaction, satisfaction. Completion, rest, ease, peace. And, dear brothers and sisters, love. Love. In all its forms. Unashamedly. Gratefully. In balance and gentleness to all parts of self, and for the highest good of all involved. I forget sometimes. That's the prayer that covers me. That my presence, my words, my deeds, my being be for the highest good of all involved, in gentleness to all parts of self, in all timelines. Selah. Now if that is what guides me, why do I worry? So, another big night of socialization looms. And, might I say, I don't believe there's going to be a tear in sight. Not tonight, honey bunny. Not tonight. I hope yours is happy too. Selah.